Hello, everybody. Welcome to part 7 of Justin Tries to Predict the Democratic Primary. I've just been filming these videos back to back, so sorry if this keeps sounding repetitive, although it might just be repetitive to me because I keep, as you can see, I'm having a mental breakdown more or less right now. Guam. I don't see any reason why this should go any other way. One interesting thing here I'll note is that I'm actually going to have Warren drop out now. She has no reasonable path to the nomination in order to even compete with Sanders and Biden. She'll need to win about at least 2/3 of this remaining chunk of delegates. And most of these are the superdelegates. And I don't see them going for her if Biden carries maybe even half of the remaining pledged delegates. So we'll see how this looks. But either way, I'm going to have Warren drop out now. Like I said, just to be nice to Buttigieg, I'm going to keep him on until Indiana. But I don't see a chance that he will win this. Okay, Guam, with Warren out, it should be something like that. Kansas. If we look at the data that 538 has so generously compiled for us, they don't have any. I think it went to Sanders last time. I don't see any reason, however, that it would go to him again. It's also a caucus, and I don't think Buttigieg will break 15, and that should work definitely in Joe Biden's favor. Oh, it's a primary. Nebraska is the... There's a caucus here. Either way, I'm goofing, and that should not have... I shouldn't have applied the 15% rule. So let me take away about 15% for... There we go. Indiana. This is the only place where I will be nice. Here, let me show you what 538 has to say. Oh, not even. This is the only place where I will be nice to Pete and give him a victory. I don't see him winning any other state, and I don't even see him winning this state by a large margin. Something like this, maybe. Either way, Pete drops out here. I don't see any path for him moving forward. No way. Nebraska. This should be something like Kansas. Other thing to note here is now it's a 2-person race. Actually, I will give this to Sanders in a close victory. It went to Sanders, I think, in 2016. So I will give it to him again. So now this is starting to look a lot like Clinton versus Sanders. However, note that Biden does have a little bit more... Biden does have a big momentum edge. He has about 100 delegate lead over Sanders. It's a pretty sizable margin considering Sanders' options of winning any more races are limited. Did I do Kentucky already? Oh, I might have mixed up the Kentucky date for the Republicans and the Democrats. It should be now. Yeah, fuck it. We'll keep it. It's negligible enough. Warren's 19 delegates aren't going to play a huge role here. West Virginia. Sanders State. This went to Sanders in 2016. Biden might do slightly better than Clinton, but I don't see any reason why Sanders would lose this, bar some huge gaffe in his ties. Oregon is a very liberal state. I do see Sanders taking it by a slight margin. In 2016, I don't know how big the margin was in 2016, and they don't show. But again, the data from March, this is from March actually, but I don't see a huge victory for Sanders here. I see a slight one. At the very best, it's something like that. Again, not enough to help him catch up. DC's huge lopsided win for Biden. There's no way Sanders takes DC. We're in June now, by the way, so at the very end, and we can enter contested convention. Just looking at the numbers, Montana, probably a Sanders victory. The rural states, as you're seeing, tend to go for Sanders, these more yeoman type states. New Jersey, this is the last big delegate haul in my home state, and if it's down to the two of them, I'm sorry, Bernie, but Biden has that edge in this state, just mathematically. And then that leaves, how many more there? There are 3 more to go. South Dakota, this went to Sanders last time, but not by nearly as big of a margin as North Dakota. New Mexico, this is a Biden state. It's by something like that. The margin should look something like that. And then finally the Virgin Islands. Something like this. So where does this leave us? Joe Biden has about a 150 delegate lead over Bernie Sanders, and now we have to fill out the superdelegates. Now, there are 2 ways this can go. The first is every superdelegate goes behind Joe Biden. Even if that happens, we enter contested convention. Why? Because nobody has half of the delegates. Realistically, the distribution should look something like this. Or rather, no, not like that. Like this. Either way, this is a contested convention. So what are the options here? The options are we will do this in the next part of the video because I want to transfer this into Paint so I can kind of draw on it. Again, so essentially the part where I predict where this primary goes is over. We see a close matchup in a lot of states between Sanders and Biden. Again, I'm terrible at predicting things, but this has been a fun exercise going through every single state. And yeah, so in part 8, we will take this data, go into contested convention, and see the options for either a Sanders victory or a Biden victory. So yeah, see you all in part 8.